Why you don't feel chosen, even when you are. Hi, I'm Laura, and welcome to the Self Concept Bestie podcast. Have you ever had someone show you interest, text you consistently, want to see you, but inside you still don't feel chosen? In this episode, we're going to go into why that is. You're not crazy, and it's not because they're doing something wrong, but it's because being chosen isn't an external event. People don't choose you. It's actually an internal experience. Being chosen doesn't start when somebody picks you. It starts when our nervous system believes that we're safe to stay. Now, without that belief, any external interest actually doesn't land. But still feel invisible if your self concept can't receive it. So, if your core belief is that I'm never chosen, your brain won't let you accept it. It doesn't matter what is happening out there. When you believe that you're not chosen, guess what's going to be proved to you? Even when the evidence is right in front of you, it's not going to land or register in your brain. So people can come along and give you compliments, consistency, effort, and they might register briefly in your brain. So you'll maybe clock it like, oh, that feels good. But if your baseline, if your self concept, your who you believe that you are, what you believe that you're worthy of is, I'm not chosen, they aren't going to stack. They're not going to register fully. You might notice them for a minute, but then because that's not what you believe, you'll forget about it and it'll all be focused on the not chosen. Your brain filters out the evidence that contradicts your identity. So your brain will scan and it will look for what you believe to be true about yourself. It's going to find ways to prove that to you. So when you believe, oh, I'm not chosen, even when the evidence there is telling you are, because your identity says that you're not, it'll filter out all of the chosen parts and it'll only let the not chosen parts land. It'll just get dismissed. All of the proof that is there that you are chosen will get dismissed. It'll push it aside. It will not allow you to focus on it. All you'll be able to focus on is that I'm not chosen. The mind will reject that evidence before it rejects the identity. So if your identity is not chosen, that's what it's going to prove to you. And it'll reject any evidence that will just push it right aside. When you can start to look at your nervous system and what you believe to be true about yourself, like I harp on about with your self concept, that's when you can start to look at changing it because our nervous system and our identity will always go with what's familiar. So if our identity is I'm not chosen, that's what's familiar, that's what's safe to our nervous system. So when you maybe meet somebody and it's a really calm connection, it'll feel boring or unsafe because that's not what you're used to. So it's more emotional unpredictability actually feels familiar to you. It's what your brain sees as being safe. So that's what actually attracts in. That's what you then pick up on because that's the pattern that is going to keep you in that you're not chosen because that's what your identity is. It's like when you will mix up intensity with intimacy. That right, it's hot, it's hot. It's like that love bombing. Like it's all in. Oh my god, this means that they like me. This means X, Y, and Z. And then it goes cold. It's that hot and cold dynamic. And then it's what your nervous system has got used to. So it's what it attracts. So when you're in something that's really calm and steady, it's like, oh, okay, well, this is boring. This isn't safe. Like, let's abort this. And let's look for the toxic behavior of the hot and cold, the love bombing that's going to last 2 weeks and then ghost me at the back of it, because actually then I can chase them and that's going to make me feel safe. Because then I need to get that clarity, because then I need to prove that I'm chosen. But it's all to do with your identity. And then when things are going well, things are going smoothly, guess what? You start feeling anxious when things are going well, overthinking all of the calm situations. It's that cycle, isn't it? So you've got somebody consistent and calm and steady, and your nervous system is telling you, okay, no, that this isn't, when's the shoe going to drop? This is too good to be true. How many times have you said that? Waiting on it. And guess what? It will. The shoe will drop because you're scanning for it, you're anticipating it to happen, you're anxiously waiting on it happening. So your brain's going to filter out every single thing it can to tell you that you're not chosen and to prove you right. Our brains and our nervous system, it doesn't seek love. It seeks what it knows. It seeks what it's been programmed to believe. It seeks what we tell it every single day. It seeks what it is to know to be safe. So, where do these patterns come from? Because you're probably sitting thinking, right, okay, well, what do I do now? What do I do now? The patterns come from like your early experiences of like emotional inconsistency from when you were little, could be for parents, caregivers, going into early teens, with peers, be like feeling unseen and unheard, or you having to perform to be somebody you're not to fit in, to keep yourself small because being too much wasn't accepted, or if you had love that felt conditional. So, love that was, I've done this for you, so you must give me something. That kind of love. The love that is only given when you're being good. The love that's given when you are in line, when you're not being you. That conditional love, you is actually programming your brain that a certain way to not accept calm, steady love. Because when love once had conditions, safety never felt guaranteed. So now when you are in a connection that is safe, that is steady, you're like, this isn't safe, this isn't guaranteed, it's too good to be true. When's the shoe going to drop? So what we're going to do, we're going to self-sabotage it. Not consciously, because a lot of you will be like, but I don't know what I'm doing. Like, how do I change it? But it's subconsciously, we will do things to self-sabotage a connection to not be chosen because it feels safe. So when you think about it, when you look at things, right, when you actually take a step back, if you could write down on a piece of paper, what do you see as signs that you're being chosen? Because really look at what your reality is saying. I'd invite you to be coming back to this and doing this. So listen all the way through and then come back to whatever time it's on just now and really, really have a think of signs that you are being chosen. What does that look like to you? So I'm going to go through some with you. It's consistency over intensity. It's effort without chasing. It's that you are putting in effort, but not because you're looking for anything in return, because you're not needing validated, because you are whole on your own. You're not needing to put effort into somebody just to get love back. You think about it, that goes back to that conditional love. So if I put in all of this effort, if I keep doing, it means they're going to love me. But actually what you find is it's the opposite. It ends up pushing people away because you're putting them first. You're thinking that They must love you for you to be safe. That's what your brain's telling you. I'm not saying that's what you think. That's what your brain is telling you. It's what your nervous system is looking for, because that's it's been programmed to do that. When you've got somebody who's reliable without any confusion. Does that feel weird? Like, they actually said they were going to show up, and they did. And there's been no games. Your brain's like, oh, okay, okay, I don't really know if this is for me. Just too nice. How many times? Come on. For all the people in the back who can't hear me, how many times? How many times? They're just too nice. You really are feeling what I'm saying, eh? And when their presence comes without pressure, when you're with somebody and their presence is there without you needing to give any more, there's no pressure to be anybody else but you. Again, that feels safe, because being you, you were taught that I'm only loved when I do this, when I'm this kind of person. So when it's just you being you, it doesn't feel safe. If you're always looking for the drop, you're not in the moment. You're still living in the memory. We're still working back from an old memory of when love was conditional, when we weren't chosen. We're waiting for that mic to drop. Because in that memory it did. But in this moment, in this present moment, what meaning are we going to give it? Are we going to decide to start trying to look through the other lens? So why do we sabotage when things are good? What we're going to do? We're going to be picking fights, aren't we? Or you'll start pulling back. You'll maybe notice a slight change in behaviour. Now, this slight change, it could be nothing. But listen, if you go and listen to my previous podcast from last week, it's going to explain it. You're going to notice a slight change in behaviour. So your brain's going to create a story. It's going to run. Oh my goodness, is it going to run? Mad story is going to go. So then you're going to be like, well, I'm going to pull back. I'm going to see it. And then we start playing the games. You're overanalyzing all of these tiny small shifts, and these stories are getting created in our brain. And before we know it, we're down a rabbit hole with the meaning of X, Y, and Z. And that's it. That's over. And then you'll test them to see if they'll stay, because if you pull back, you want to see, right, okay, they're going to come forward. I've gave them all of this love. That means that they should love me, because that's what our brain's been used to, because that conditional love. So we pull back. You're testing to see they're going to come forward, and they maybe don't. So then what happens? We're going to spiral again. So self-sabotage, it's not self-destruction. It's actually self-protection. It's all our brains have been used to. So when you think about this, I think the key point to take away from this is that this isn't something that is wrong with you. It's just something that our brains are doing to protect us. Our nervous system's doing to protect us, because it's all it ever knew. These stories, these limiting beliefs, what we've grew up believing is what's now being played out in our adult life, but we can now start to change it. So how do we rewire the feeling of being chosen? This might come as a shock to some of you, is what I'm about to say. It might not. We choose ourselves first. You heard me. We choose ourselves first. You choose yourself first. Nobody comes before you. Nobody is up on that pedestal more than you. When you start to put somebody is so important that they have to choose you for you to feel whole. What's that telling you about yourself? That you don't feel you're worthy without somebody. But you've always been worthy. You are loved. You are whole. You need to start speaking kindly internally to yourself. We need to stop auditioning for love. Like they're the ones that are having to choose us. Like we need to start speaking that love into ourselves. That's that love that we're seeking. You start giving yourself that. You start speaking how you would want somebody to speak to you. Start speaking that to yourself. But more importantly, start speaking to yourself like that for you. We don't do this for anyone else. You do it for you. We stop pretending to put on a show to be chosen because then somebody will love me. No, the right people for you will gravitate towards you because of who you are authentically, not because of the mask that you've put on, that you wear to be accepted. We stop auditioning. We stop pretending that we're somebody we're not. And do you know what? If they don't like that, if whoever it is, they don't like that, that's okay. Because long term, we can't keep a mask on. We can't keep pretending. We can't keep begging to be chosen when we don't believe that we're chosen within ourselves because we haven't chosen ourselves first. Number 2, let consistency be enough. So if you're in a situation and they're texting all the time, but that's intense, it feels great. But if you look back at your pattern, that lasts 2 weeks, a month, and that's it. But you've met Mr. Nice Guy, and he doesn't message every day, but he's consistent. He shows up when he says he will. He messages when he says he will. There is effort there. You have to start registering it in your brain. Let it be enough. Don't demand the intensity to feel secure. Because when you start demanding that intensity to feel secure, you're telling somebody they must do something so you feel enough. But you need to feel enough within yourself first. So we don't go in, you must do this. You must text me every day, 3 times a day. You must do X, Y, and Z because then I'll feel enough. No, it starts with you. Internally, it starts with you. You have to actually look at what is consistently happening and allow that to be enough and know that you're safe in it to start rewiring that story, to start changing that story that your brain will keep showing you. Because when we can start to change our beliefs, our nervous system starts to settle as well because then we start teaching it that we're safe. Number 3, we regulate ourselves before we react. Pause, breathe, and just soften. Let your shoulders relax. Because I know we've all been there. If something happens and it triggers you and you snap, you just react right away. Your brain it's reacting from that old wound. Have you clicked to that? That we react from our old wounds? It's half the time got nothing to do with the present moment. It's triggering from a memory. It's coming back from a memory from before. But when we can pause, breathe, and just soften into it and actually ask ourselves, okay, is this something that I'm needing to be annoyed about? Is this coming from an old wound? Is this coming from a memory? Because I'm going to ask you something. Just really sit with this. How many times, and this is in all aspects of our life. How many times have you reacted to something, and after 15 minutes, your body's settled, your nervous system's calmed down, and you've said to yourself, "Why did I do that? Now I'm going to need to go and apologise. Why did I react like that? There's no way I didn't need to react like that. It actually wasn't even a big deal." But I'm here to tell you that that was coming from a memory. It was coming from a wound. It wasn't coming from that reaction of what was actually happening in that moment. So we can breathe, we can pause and we can breathe and we can soften into it. We can get to that, how we feel after that 15 minutes there and then, so we can respond in a really calm way. Number 4, let's start telling a new story. That is all it has been stories and beliefs that you've picked up over time. But what if we start telling our brains a new story? What if we start telling it, I am safe, I am wanted, I don't have to earn love? You can start writing that down. You can start speaking it into yourself. Start believing it. What's going to happen is your brain will start finding ways to prove it to you. When you start to change that story and change your beliefs, it's going to find ways to prove it to you. Yep, you're right, actually. I don't need to earn love. This calmness, it feels safe now. This consistency, this Mr. Satan, Mr. Nice, Mrs. Nice. I actually like this feeling because you're changing the story. You're changing what your beliefs are. You're changing your nervous system and how it reacts. You don't wait to be chosen. You decide that you are. We're not out here hoping that somebody's going to choose us. You have to believe that there's no one else but you. We decide. You decide that you're chosen. You don't give that power to anybody else. Being chosen isn't about somebody else finally seeing your worth. It's about you finally believing that you don't have to prove it. And see, when that shift happens, love stops feeling like something that you're chasing and it starts feeling like something you allow. You were never unchosen. You were just learning how to choose yourself. I hope you have enjoyed that episode. And if this resonated, please share it with somebody who needs to hear it. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, today is already an amazing day.